If you've ever wondered whether the private habits you've carried for decades are still serving your body after 60, you're not alone. And the truth is, this is one of the most common silent concerns men have, but rarely talk about openly. What most people don't realize is that sexual health doesn't suddenly disappear with age, but the rules do change. And ignoring those changes is where problems quietly start. I want you to imagine for a moment that masturbation isn't something separate from your health, but something directly connected to your circulation, your prostate, your hormones, your mood, and even how confident you feel walking through the day. When you look at it that way, it stops being awkward and starts becoming practical, because just like lifting weights or going for a walk, how you do it matters more than whether you do it at all. After 60, your body is still incredibly capable, but it is more honest than it used to be. It gives faster feedback. Push too hard, rush too much, ignore signals, and it lets you know, sometimes subtly, sometimes not. One of the biggest misunderstandings I see is men thinking that if something worked for them at 30, it should work the same way now. That mindset alone creates unnecessary frustration. Blood vessels are not as elastic as they once were, nerves are more sensitive to overstimulation, and recovery time is longer across the board. That doesn't mean things are worse. It means they require a different approach, one rooted in awareness instead of habit. One mistake that causes more long-term issues than most men realize is rushing the process. Fast, aggressive stimulation trains the nervous system to respond only to intensity. Over time, that can dull natural sensitivity and make arousal feel inconsistent. It's similar to blasting loud music into your ears every day, and then wondering why normal sounds don't feel the same. Slowing down allows blood flow to build naturally, gives nerves time to respond properly, and reduces strain on the pelvic floor. When arousal is gradual, the body stays relaxed, which is essential for maintaining healthy erections and overall comfort. Another overlooked factor is physical tension. Many men unknowingly clench their jaw, tighten their ABs, or hold their breath during stimulation. This creates a stress response in the body. When the nervous system interprets stress, it prioritizes survival, not pleasure. That can lead to weaker responses and less satisfaction over time. Learning to breathe calmly, relax the shoulders, and stay present makes a noticeable difference. This isn't about technique. It's about allowing the body to do what it's designed to do without interference. Lubrication is another area where outdated thinking causes unnecessary problems. As skin ages, it becomes thinner and less resilient. Dry friction creates micro-irritation that you may not notice immediately, but over time it adds up. Discomfort, reduced sensitivity, and even avoidance can develop simply because the tissue isn't being treated with care. Using a clean, body-safe lubricant protects the skin, reduces inflammation, and improves comfort. It's not about luxury or indulgence, it's basic maintenance, no different than stretching before exercise to protect your joints. Then there's the mental side, which is just as important as the physical. Many men use masturbation as a way to release stress late at night when they're already exhausted. The intention might be relaxation, but the effect can be the opposite. When it's rushed, secretive, or tied to tension, the body stays in a heightened state. Stress hormones remain elevated, sleep quality suffers, and the nervous system never fully resets. Approaching it as a calm, intentional moment shifts the body into a parasympathetic state, which supports hormone balance, prostate health, and deeper rest. Another common issue is frequency without recovery. More isn't always better, especially if the body isn't given time to reset. Just like muscles need recovery after training, the nervous system benefits from balance. Paying attention to how your body feels afterward is key. If you feel relaxed, clear-headed, and energized, that's a good sign. If you feel drained, irritable, or foggy, it's information worth listening to. The body is constantly communicating, but most men were never taught how to listen. There's also a strong connection between pelvic floor health and sexual function that often gets ignored. Chronic tension or weakness in this area can affect sensation, control, and comfort. Gentle awareness, proper breathing, and avoiding excessive strain help maintain balance. This isn't about complicated exercises or performance goals. It's about not overwhelming a system that already does a lot of work every day. Shame and guilt play a bigger role than many men want to admit. Growing up, many were taught that sexual pleasure was either something to hide or something to overdo, but never something to understand. Carrying that mindset into later years creates unnecessary stress. Sexual health is health. Treating it with the same respect as diet or movement removes a huge psychological burden. When guilt fades, relaxation increases, and the body responds accordingly. Another important point is avoiding unrealistic expectations shaped by media or past experiences. Comparing yourself to who you were decades ago or to exaggerated images creates pressure. Pressure is the enemy of function. Acceptance allows adaptation. When you stop demanding a certain outcome and focus on comforted awareness, the experience becomes more consistent and satisfying. Hydration, sleep, and overall circulation also play a role. Poor hydration thickens blood, reduces elasticity, and affects performance in subtle ways. Quality sleep supports testosterone regulation and nervous system recovery. Light daily movement improves blood flow everywhere, including where it matters most. These factors don't exist in isolation. Sexual health is a reflection of overall health. It's also worth mentioning that pain, numbness, or persistent changes should never be ignored. These are signals, not inconveniences. Consulting a healthcare professional isn't a sign of weakness. It's an investment in longevity. Many issues are easier to address early when habits can be adjusted instead of corrected later. The most powerful shift men make after 60 is moving from autopilot to intention. When you're younger, the body compensates for careless habits. With age, intention replaces compensation. Slower becomes better. Gentler becomes stronger. Awareness becomes the new performance metric. This isn't about giving something up. It's about upgrading how you relate to your body. Confidence doesn't come from forcing outcomes. It comes from trust. Trust that your body still knows what to do when you stop fighting it. Trust that taking care of yourself privately improves how you show up publicly. When sexual health is approached with patience and respect, it supports mental clarity, emotional balance, and a sense of vitality that carries into every part of life. Many men are surprised to find that when they slow down, use proper care, and remove pressure, sensitivity actually improves. Pleasure becomes more nuanced, satisfaction becomes deeper. And that confidence doesn't stay in the bedroom. It shows up in posture, conversation, and how you carry yourself through the day. The key is understanding that aging isn't decline, it's refinement. The body asks for smarter input, not less engagement. When you listen, adjust, and respect its signals, it rewards you with steadier energy and greater ease. This approach isn't about rules or restrictions, it's about alignment. When habits align with physiology, everything works more smoothly. Sexual health after 60 is not about proving anything. It's about preserving comfort, confidence, and connection with yourself. When you treat your body like an ally instead of a machine, you stop fighting time and start working with it. That mindset alone changes how you experience aging. The men who thrive later in life aren't the ones chasing intensity. They're the ones mastering balance. They understand that strength includes restraint, that awareness beats force, and that health is built through small, consistent choices made with respect. Every time you choose patience over pressure, care over habit, and understanding over assumption, you reinforce a foundation that supports you for years to come. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Paying attention, making small adjustments, and staying curious about your own body keeps you engaged with life instead of resigned to decline. When you approach sexual health as part of overall wellness, it stops being a separate topic and becomes just another way you take care of yourself. The most important thing to remember is that your body is not working against you. It's responding to how it's treated. When you change the approach, the response changes too. Awareness creates better outcomes than force ever could. Taking your time, using care, and staying relaxed supports not just sexual function, but long-term confidence and well-being, and when that becomes your baseline, everything else starts to feel more grounded and sustainable as you continue moving forward with a clearer understanding of how your body responds, how it recovers, how it signals what it needs, and how honoring those signals quietly strengthens your health day after day as you build habits that feel supportive rather than draining and begin to notice how small shifts ripple outward into better sleep, calmer moods, steadier energy, and a deeper sense of comfort in your own skin.